Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Pantera TV. My name is Philip Bertuda. I am the social media and campaign lead here in New York City. And I'm very excited today to talk about and interview two members of our partners at Catmosphere to talk about the Catwalk 2022. Um, we have today Sean Tashar and Malaka Cowd, the deputy manager of Catwalk 22. So, yeah, guys, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're talking to you today from the Middle East. We're in Riyadh in Saudi, and we're just 2 days away from our second annual Catwalk. Catwalk
That's great.
is Catwalk is the flagship campaign of the Foundation Catmosphere, and we're an annual mass participation invitation to get outside and go on a walk. And Pantera is our main beneficiary partner. We met back in 2019 before COVID happened. And the reason that we met you is that we had a history of mass participation campaigning. And we were challenged to bring that expertise to the world of big cat conservation, which wasn't something that we knew that much about. And when we were first invited to work together, we thought it might be to raise awareness about your work, especially focusing on big cat conservation, in the form of something we thought about doing an exhibition, an interactive experience, something like this. And then COVID happened, and everybody will remember that most people in most countries were not allowed to go outside anymore. We all had to stay at home. And we were there still communicating with you, reading all your scientific information about big cats. And what we noticed was that one of the main threats for all of them was loss of habitat. And that was something that resonated with us at that exact moment, because we felt as people that we had a loss of habitat too. Suddenly, we couldn't go outside anymore. We couldn't be in nature. It was very miserable. We got depressed. People suffered from mental health problems. And, um, and we felt there was a parallel here between wildcat and big cat habitat loss and human habitat loss. But the one thing that most people were still allowed to do during COVID was go outside on a walk, wasn't it? It was everybody
Yeah,
was allowed a daily walk. So when COVID was coming to an end and the campaign could pick back up again, the idea was, okay, well, what if we could focus on that getting back out and going on a walk and use that as a way to bring people together to talk about this common issue? Because what we found was when you were allowed to go on a walk outside, you would feel better about yourself. And if you feel better about yourself and more healthy in yourself, then you care about nature. If you care about nature, then wildlife is part of nature. And what's part of wildlife? Well, it's big cats and wildcats and all the wildcats that Pantera looks after. So we decided to use that as the narrative to to lead to what has become our objective and our slogan, which is that Catwalk here in 2022, in our second year, is a campaign to raise awareness about interconnected well-being. To have a healthy planet means having healthy humans too. So if we're healthy, we're more likely to look after the planet. If we care about the planet, as I said, we care about nature, then we care about wildlife, and we care about big cats. So what we did in 2021 was we invited people all over the world to go on a walk. They could go in groups or just self-organize like during COVID. And we invited them to go on a walk of up to 7 kilometers outside. The reason we chose 7 kilometers was 1 kilometer for each of the 7 big cats. And to use that opportunity to talk and share the learning materials that we produced with you about big cats and big cat conservation. So we're sending people outside to go on a walk and speak to each other and learn about big cat conservation.
And last year we had 27,000 people go on our walk. So we decided to do it again.
Yeah, it was quite successful. We were actually rather surprised. So it was 27,000 people in 102 different countries on the first Saturday of November in 2021 felt that what we were saying resonated with them. And also, Philip and everyone at Pantera, we think that another reason that this campaign really resonated with so many people in different countries and unusual parts of the world, when we're speaking to you from far away from the US today, is that something that the campaign noticed about big cats is that, you know, they're widespread throughout the world. So almost whichever continent you're on, there's a big cat or that is close to you, that's facing habitat loss, that survival is endangered or threatened in some way. So we found that allowed this campaign to have a local call to action, which is go on a walk, with a global message, but we could focus on these local narratives. So what that meant, and we played with this. So when we ask people to sign up for Catwalk, they sign up on our website, and we ask them to dedicate their walk to their favorite big cat. They can dedicate their distance to one of the 7 big cats. And
nice.
We produce these signs. They're called the Selfie signs. And you can write here whichever big cat you're dedicating your catwalk to. And so what we found, not surprisingly perhaps, but in the first year everything was surprising, was that people who live in North America, and especially in Washington State, they all dedicated their catwalks to the puma, because the puma is the big cat in North America. And in South America,
people dedicated their walk to jaguars.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And in India, obviously, they were dedicating to the tiger. And here, where we're speaking to you from today, in Saudi Arabia, they were dedicating to the
Arabian leopard.
And this was particularly interesting for us because because the Arabian leopard there are not many left in the world, whether in the wild or not. And Pantera is over here in the region leading the breeding and reintroduction of the Arabian leopard, which is a subspecies of the leopard. And so we knew that you were doing work over here. And so here in Saudi, where we are today, is where there was huge uptake, a huge surge of interest. And what we found fascinating then was that we were used to having these conservation conversations in the United States and Europe, if you like. But we found that when we were talking to this audience in the Middle East, that using the right language to talk about conservation and the right terminology was something that needed some work, and that many people didn't actually were not using the same words, the same language to discuss conservation topics, and even the names of big cats was not being used consistently throughout the region. And we thought that was particularly interesting, because how can you have a conversation about conservation if people are not even using a common language? So we worked with you guys at Pantera, and we created these
like big cat fact sheets. With your help, we created them in Arabic as well, so everyone can be familiar with the terms of conservation in Arabic and
And that's really exciting for us. And we've been here partnering with schools and some colleges. And we think that this campaign is a really interesting way of reaching new audiences around the world to share the conservation stories of Pantera to throughout the Arabic-speaking world. So So we're just 2 days away now from Catwalk number 2, and it's picking up again. Our challenge this year was to beat the numbers of last year, so we have to beat 27,000 people.
Well, I guess what we have to say is, are you ready for the catwalk? It is in 2 days. Register for the catwalk. You can do it anywhere, anytime on the 5th of November. All you have to do is register on our website and dedicate your walk to the big cat you love. And just tag us, show us your pictures. We'd love to see your catwalk on the 5th of November.
That's great. Thank you, guys. I do have some questions. You said how we could get involved for sure, and that's great. Again, go to catmosphere.org, and then you'll be able to find the registration link for Saturday's catwalk. One question. So how does catwalk help, help preserve and protect all big cat species?
So we're an awareness raising campaign. Because we think that you've got to be informed in order to start that journey to caring, and that's also the positioning, if you like, of what we said if you go out on a walk and you're starting to feel better about yourself and nature, it's all steps in the right direction. So with that idea of interconnected well-being, which is that it's unlikely that any species is going to have a successful future unless humans start looking after the planet, what we found was happening last year was that learning went on. And when anybody asked us if they wanted to donate money, we didn't direct it to ourselves. We directed it to Pantera. So for funding to be directed in your direction. But also something very interesting happened on the side of some catwalks that we hadn't invited. Again, this was self-initiating and quite wonderful. Some people use their catwalks to collect trash in their neighborhood or their local park or wherever they went. And some other people planted trees on the sides of catwalk. So we found that people were using this idea of going out, community events, outside in nature, talk about big cats as a topic to bring people together, was making them want to contribute to their environments in a more positive way. So, and we also think that with those large numbers mean that this messaging is resonating. And we just hope to harness it more year by year. And Atmosphere as a foundation doesn't only have Catwalk. We have other campaigns that also help with these objectives. And actually, I will tell you one really exciting story about a tangible outcome of last year's Catwalk. The awareness raising that it did in Saudi about the Arabian leopard meant that on the 10th of February of this year, the nation declared that forever afterwards, the 10th of February will always be National Arabian Leopard Day. So movements like this can lead to national level awareness. And when that takes place, then, then the possibility for national level mindset shift is really taking place. And so I think, Philip, that's what we hope will be achieved in more places, that people will use these ideas to gather communities together and try and achieve or get involved in movements that achieve collective well-being.
That's great. So we do have a lot of partnerships here with Catmosphere and Panthera, but there's one particular partnership that we're kind of excited to announce, at least for this catwalk. Do you want to talk about that?
Tell me.
Okay, so it's Google. So Google is willing to match, especially Saudi Arabia, any donations given to Catwalk. So do you want?
Yeah, this is very exciting.
Yeah,
There are
it's
cats everywhere. This
Yes.
is what we found out. And through our partnership with Google, they're going to match donations spent on every participation of planning or promotion of Google employees, which they call Mooglers. They match the work hours to donations to go to Panthera. So every
great.
Google employee that will support, promote, or work on Catwalk, those hours will be allocated and then dedicated and matched to Panthera's awareness raising efforts.
That is great, and that's actually really exciting news. And I'm glad that we can confirm that too. So, last question. So what exactly are you going to be asking everybody to do today here who are participating in the live session? What to do on Saturday?
So first, please go register for the Catwalk. You can do it anywhere, anytime on the 5th of November. Go to our website. We'll ask you to dedicate your walk to the big cat you love. In 2022, the leopard won based on the interest in the region. A lot of people wanting to promote awareness for the Arabian leopard. So let's see which big cat will win this year. Will it be the jaguar? Will it be the leopard again? So are you ready? It's in 2 days.
Thank you guys so much again. So follow Catmosphere on Instagram and Twitter, and then also follow us here at Panthera on pretty much all the social channels. And we hope to see you all, participate on Saturday. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mark. You guys take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.